All right, folks, we have a Minden game today because Gary Graber sent me a bunch of them all at once. So, what is our game today, Miss Katie?
Dirt tag.
Dirt tag, and what does that
It
mean?
means the day.
That day, and you got to tilt it a little bit there. That a girl, because otherwise our satellite, our Sputnik light throws light all over it. So that's what you see in back of Miss Katie's head, where it looks like she's got stuff happening in back of her head. It's not. She doesn't have bugs or aliens coming out of her head. At least not yet today.
That's enough.
But that's a different story. All right. World War One British naval war game. I like my little naval miniatures. I've got. Let's see if we can put this out here. We've got. I'll show you this later, further away. But this is, I think, from Majestic Games, a cardboard that is HMS Battleship Valiant. So, we kind of like our naval stuff, even though we were never Navy. The only Navy person in our family.
Your
father
was.
George was.
And my grandfather.
And your grandfather. George was only because a war happened. So, have we had anything close to the day for us recently?
Yes, we have.
And what is that?
We had a new kitten wander onto our property a week ago last Sunday.
At 10 o'clock at night.
10 p.m.
We went through the flight of the bumbling kitten.
Very, very small, about 6 weeks. Very, extremely cute. Black, name is still undetermined.
And that was not afraid of the dogs, who were basically muzzle to nose with it, barking at it, and it didn't. So we have no idea where it came from, because our property has a great deal of separation from the other houses. So, where did it come from? Their tog.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, or their knock for the night.
Okay.
So, or their tog knock the day of the night, or the night of the day, or whatever, for God's sakes.
Kitten needs name.
But kitten needs a name. In fact, anybody watching the video is more than welcome to send in possible names for us.
Any and all suggestions are welcome.
Except some of the ones I come up with that Miss Katie vetoes right away, and we won't.
Yes.
We will not.
Some of them are
unstatable. So, all right, folks, I will be taking over in just a moment. As always, we thank you, and
bye-bye.
Bye-byes. Hi, folks. The TOG 1916 Solitaire World War I Naval Game by Gary Graber, i.e. Minden Games, of which I am the game editor for the magazine, Panther Digest magazine. Subscription numbers, well, we won't talk about subscription numbers because I don't know. But I like this cover. This is the Battle Cruiser Seydlitz. Taking on water, coming back from, I'm not certain if it's Jutland now, but yeah, it is Jutland, because I saw the pictures of it last night. It said 1916, and since Dogger Bank was 1915, it has to be Jutland. But back, okay, Amazon, $14.95. It's on Amazon. Now, this is what Gary calls one of his classic games. It's easy to find, because again, it's on Amazon. You could also go to the Minden Game site, but Amazon might get you faster shipping, as Gary tends to work sometimes from the road. So Amazon is probably your faster thing. I don't get anything for saying Amazon. I don't get any kickbacks. I'm just telling you that we all hate the wait, don't we? So I also need one other thing here in front of you. So I had to lean across. Now, the game, the book, typical of these, okay? See a page of rules. Then there are chart, table, I will show that one to you. Assignment phase or reassignment phase, action location, possible interception table for the Royal Navy. And let's see when folks might arrive. that is, i.e. the Royal Navy, to show up somewhere. Here is your table for what you're firing at, for where the hit is registered at. Victory point for ships, a variable combat event table. We may be having Maggie show up, the witch, on the table.
Yeah.
And then your various combat results tables. And you've got here your British and German combat tables, and here you have damage tables. So in all, and of course, we got action cards. There are the action cards here, and then there are the optional action cards that are, as he continues to look for them, back here. Now, tiny little map. British ships, page 1. British ships, page 2, along with your weather action point. Now, Kate, can you see that page very clearly?
Yes.
Okay, you notice that there are like no turrets on the ships, are there, Toots?
No.
So if you're looking for something that has that, well, this is not for you. In fact, all you have on it is showing you what type of ship it is. And it's in part why I use these that I think came from 12 Majestic Games, but I'm not certain about that anymore. You could also use your own miniatures. You could probably use the Jutland counters, except that this game covers the period from 1915, somewhere in the middle, early 1915, to somewhere in the middle of 1916, and it's only 4 turns long. Indeterminate turns. And of course, then you've got your German Navy. We had to go. This game didn't present a problem. Another game presented more of a problem, although here is you can see here, this is a counter. What we did, we went ahead, put it on cardstock, put packaging tape over it, and made a more robust counter. Then you have your action cards. Your action cards, wow, isn't it funny? I picked the Dertog one. There's an action card, and it says German availability. All German ships, 50% chance of where it shows up, north or central. Then you have some of the other cards. Bombard or tip and run. And on those, you will see that the German availability is determined by a die roll. And then like with some, if you roll a 6, you then have to roll for however many of the various classes show up. If you roll 1 through 5 on this, they all show up. And then your location is also determined by a die roll. So all very simple. The German play, for if you're playing the main game, because there's an optional rule you can play as the German. But the German, or you can play as both. The German player, he has half as many ships as the Royal Navy. He has 30 ships compared to the Royal Navy's 60. And a number of his ships are older class battleships. They're not terribly effective on the combat result table. Now, here is your British placement chart or table. The British have 4 different ports that they go to. You've got Scapa Flow, Cromarty, Roslyn, and Dover. You have to put a minimum of 8 ships in each port. Doesn't matter, or base. Doesn't matter what you do. And that then goes back to your interception table, trying to figure out, based upon the action cards, where are the Germans most likely to show up, and where are you willing to take the assumption of risk. So, and of course, we made this. We put it on cardstock, and we just place our ships across it. Although I suppose we could use the kind of pens we used to use in the Army. The old,
I don't know what they are, but I know what you're talking about.
both the soft ones,
Yeah, and
like a crayon.
yeah, like a wax pencil.
Yeah. Here is also the game map. Okay, it's no real great shakes, is it? North, center, south, but it works because what you do, Miss Katie, hand me that thing. It looks like it says,
Excel?
yeah, Excel. You put your weather, and this here is for excellent weather. You put your weather
Hello, Petunia.
on in an area. So all 3 areas here have different weather. So that's it, folks. I highly recommend this game. Oh, wait, and there's books.
Oh, you forgot your
We
books.
gotta do books.
We forgot books.
Richard Howells, The Great War at Sea, 1914 to 1918. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. It is the best book I have on it. Seems a little thin at the end, but the reason it gets thin at the end is because the U-boat scourge had then been dealt with. So, highly recommended. Now, a book that has nothing to do with at sea, Germany's Western Front. This is from a college in Canada, 1914. But there's a little discussion between, that's noted by the authors or the editors, on how the German Army and Navy, the High Seas Fleet, didn't coordinate at all on anything. You think the Japanese would have paid attention to that, what happened when you did, but they didn't. Good book, though. And then, of course, there is the Jutland book, The Naval Staff Appreciation by William Schleifhoff. Another good book, lots of diagrams. Lots of diagrams, not so many pictures. Not as many pictures as you would hope. Detailed diagrams. And how do I know I've read it? Because I have notes in it. If you're looking for a book with lots of pictures, this is not it. In-depth study those. So, there you have it, folks. New Minden game. We've already played it twice. I cannot but highly recommend this. It is so awesome of a game. Just be aware, you may have to do some arts and craft because I don't like cutting the stuff out of the things. I like keeping my book together. So I do arts and crafts, and this time they came out pretty good. All right, folks, thank you, and thank you, Gary, for sending it to us. Bye.